Hey, Wesley, so you've been in the league for a long time now. We know about your dad's history, winning titles with the Lakers back in the 80s. Just wondering what specifically about this year, about this offseason, made it the time that you wanted to come and join this Lakers team. Is there anything that stands out at the top of that list?
I would say, obviously, I'm very grateful and humbled to be a part of the Lakers organization. Is such a tremendous organization. Obviously, the history speaks for itself. The legacies of countless players, coaches, personnel, staff, speak for themselves. The city speaks for itself. But their desire for me, and I think that was in any field, whether it's sports or anything, you want to be wanted. I think it's a pretty simple thing. You want to be wanted, and you want to be wanted by the best. And so, I had the tremendous opportunity to play for my hometown state, the Milwaukee Bucks, and with a tremendous coaching staff and group of guys and ownership. And, I'm very proud of the time that I spent there, even though it was brief. But to then also be wanted by the defending champions, along with the family ties and just the history of the Lakers organization. To add that to the fit and style of play. I'm tremendously excited about the opportunity.
And to follow up briefly, their style last year of everybody defending and having guys that could shoot threes on the other end. Do you see that your style of play kind of fits right in with that mold? Did that come up when you spoke with Rob and or Frank?
I don't think they would have came after me if that wasn't the case. Obviously, I like to pride myself on the defensive side of the ball, and obviously shooting threes is right up my avenue. But I look forward to not only just defending and shooting threes, but playing basketball. Watching the Lakers from a distance and obviously competing against them. There's a lot of ball movement, a lot of player movement, a lot of random situations, stuff that I feel that I really excel in. And an underrated part of my game is playing off the ball. Since college, I haven't been the go-to guy. So I've always had to find ways to play without the basketball. And I've done that my whole life, so that isn't anything new to me. And that's something that I feel that I can provide, with this team in a style in which they already do it.
Kyle?
Hey, Wes. Kyle Goon with the Orange County Register. Good to see you. Good to see you recover from the bubble.
Somewhat.
You mentioned the family ties. I know you're probably too young to remember much about your dad's run with the Lakers, but what kind of space does that occupy for you, and how do you kind of view the Lakers differently than other franchises in the NBA?
That's kind of a tricky question. I don't know how much you guys know about my story or anything, but my mom raised me. My mom raised me a single parent. My dad and I, we are very much closer than we were growing up. And, as I've gotten older and older, our relationship has continued to grow. And it's something that I'm very proud of, and it's not easy. It's not easy, especially having, a father who played for the Lakers and, won championships and was a amazing player at the University of Wisconsin, my hometown, so I kind of get that question a lot often, but I think now being a father, being a parent, and knowing that, just hearing the stories, my dad sent me a message not too long ago, and he told me that, on my birthday, he signed his contract to become a Laker. And, I've got a picture that I've always had of him in warm-ups. I'm on the court, I'm in an all denim suit, and he's handing me a basketball, in the Forum. And I'm a little bit younger than the age of my daughter is right now. And so just to see everything come in full circle, it's really only God can really write a story like this, and it's not done yet, but it's sentimental. Growing up, Lakers was always one of my favorite teams, the Bulls, Lakers. Eddie Jones is one of my favorite basketball players of all time. Laker roots run pretty deep with me as far as just being a fan growing up, and obviously the ties with my father.
Bill Oram.
Hey, Wesley. Bill Oram, cover the team for the Athletic. Welcome. Good to see you. I'm wondering, you were kind of the first shoe to fall on the start of free agency for this team. Can you kind of take me through what the next couple of days were like for you as you saw the other pieces coming together, and obviously Montrez and Mark, and you can start to really get a sense of what this team was going to be, what your experience of seeing it come together was, and what you think of the way the roster was built.
It was amazing. It was really amazing. First with the trade for Dennis, and kind of being one of the first pieces that they wanted to get in line so that they can do the rest of assembling this team. I'm just excited. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited to be wanted. I'm excited to be in a situation where I feel like I can showcase most of my game. I'm excited for the opportunity to, try to raise the 18th banner. I'm excited about the opportunity to play basketball at the highest level. I'm excited about everything. And so them putting the team together, it was, I'm ready to go. Obviously this is my office. This is I'm at home. This is my gym. I'm ready to work out as soon as I get off of here with y'all. Like, I'm, lack of a better word, excited.
Alan Sliwa.
Hey, Wes, welcome to LA. Alan Sliwa with 710 ESPN. I wanted to just get your thoughts. You mentioned that the organization went after you right away. And just from your perspective, how much did the chance of winning an NBA or competing for an NBA championship, and how much did the opportunity of playing with LeBron and AD and that fit? If you could just kind of talk about what the perspective was from your side.
Well, I've always wanted to. Well, winning is always the number one thing. Winning is always the number one goal. So going into free agency, we had an idea that contenders were going to be the teams that were going to, come after me. And for me, that's all I wanted, So when my name got thrown around in the Lakers organization, it was kind of like, it was pretty surreal. But like I said, it's really just a lot of excitement, a lot of emotions, of ties, of legacy and all that. But winning a championship is the number one thing that I want to do. When I came into this league as an undrafted free agent, was not only do I want to be the best undrafted player ever, but I want to have some hardware. And when I was teammates with JJ Barea in Dallas, obviously he's undrafted as well. So we would talk about all that, but he always had that one up on me because he had that ring in 2011, and they actually knocked us out of the playoffs that year too. So I'm really not happy about that. So I got some catching up to do. But yeah, LeBron, AD, Staples Center, to everybody, the whole thing. I'm a competitor, and the West is something that I'm used to being in. I've been in the West my whole career. Obviously, the competition across the league is getting crazy, with all these teams now, East, West, but it's nothing like that Western Conference.
Brad Turner.
Hi, Brad Turner, the LA Times. I look like it, but I'm the only one here that covered your dad when he played for the Lakers.
Okay.
What? I don't look that old, I don't think, Bill Orm.
No, you cool.
I appreciate it, Wesley. My question is, you play with Giannis.
Right.
Players in the NBA. Now you get a chance to play with LeBron and AD, two of the best players in the NBA. How do you think that's going to work for you? And what do you think you may have learned from having played with Giannis that can help you with these two guys?
Everybody's different. Giannis is a tremendous player. Obviously, he was back-to-back MVPs, one of 4 people to be MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. He's a tremendous player. I've played with some very, very good, very, very good players. I was on the tail end of Dirk, but Dirk Nowitzki, LaMarcus, when he was arguably the best power forward in the game at the time, Dame, D. Will. But obviously, these guys, it's LeBron. It's arguably the best player to ever play this game. Anthony Davis is one of the talents that you rarely ever see. So I'm excited. I'm excited to compete with these guys. I competed against them for forever. I'm excited to compete with these guys and learn as much as I can, and also share just tips that I have, from competing against them, and maybe help them for people that are similar to me in situations with, in switches or whatever it is. I'm here to compete. I'm here to help raise a banner.
Claudia?
Congratulations, Wesley. Welcome to LA. This is Claudia Gestro with KWH22 LA. We just want to know, did LeBron reach out to you after you did the deal? What did he said? And my second question is, what's your message to this your new Lakers fans?
I have not spoke with LeBron yet, but I'm sure that I will at some point. I mean, he's a busy guy. He's doing a lot of things on and off the court. But my message to the Lakers fans is, you're going to get somebody that's going to show up every single night, ready to compete, ready to make life hell for whoever it is that I'm going up against, and someone that's not going to quit, someone that's not going to back down, and someone that's going to do everything in their power to make sure that a 18th banner gets raised.
Harrison Fagan?
Hey, Wesley, Harrison Fagan, Silver Screen and Roll. I was just wondering if when you were in discussions with the team to join, if there was any talks about what your role would be, or starting, coming off the bench, specifically kind of what kind of stuff they expect from you out on the court?
We didn't really get in the role or anything like that. They were still obviously filling out the roster and all that kind of stuff. I think, I've got trust with. I don't think that they're bringing me here not to do anything, So, what I'm doing is what I've always been doing, is working, staying in the gym, sharpening up every tool that there is in a basketball game. Shooting, obviously, ball handling and tagging, but most importantly, just keeping my body right, keeping my body so that we can grind. It's still, I know it's only 72 games now, but the NBA season is a grind, and it's been an awkward off season, awkward year, I guess you can say. Not that traditional time where you can start ramping up your off season to more extensive workouts and stuff. So the main thing is making sure that health and the body the foundation is stable, so that we can go out there and we can give max effort every single night.
Melissa Rowland?
Hey, sorry, I wasn't raising my hand.
Okay. And take a couple more if you guys need. If not, we'll let Wesley go.
I got one more.
All right.
You're a guy that shot 38% or better on corner threes every single season of your career, and I'm just wondering how excited you are for you've talked a little bit about playing with LeBron and stuff, but how excited are you for the types of shots that a playmaker like that can get you?
Who doesn't want to shoot the ball? So I think there's your answer right there. Who doesn't want to shoot the ball? I just got to make sure that I get to that spot and I know that ball will be there, and hopefully more often than not, the other team's going to be taking it out the net.
All right, going once, going twice. Anybody else? Mike Trudell.
Hey, Wesley, last year, Frank Vogel's defense was built a lot on rim protection, and I know that was part of the Bucks' principles with the various shot blockers and just corralling players towards that. How did that enable you to play towards your style in the perimeter, and do you see something like that could be similar? And again, I know this will all get sorted out in training camp, but what did you see that could work there for the way you like to play on the perimeter?
Well, I saw a lot of adjustments, obviously protecting the rim, guarding the three and protecting the rim are the most important things, and keeping people off the foul line. That's the way that the NBA is trending right now. Threes foul line, basket. But what I saw with the Lakers was a lot of adjustments. You know, you have your base, but sometimes it's the NBA. You know, people are gonna get going. So you got guys like Dame and Steph and countless other guys that can pull up from 38 feet. You know, so you have to take account for that. You know, it's an ongoing thing. And so, like, you know, I saw switching, I saw mixing unders and overs, I saw a lot of variations of defense, which I think is something that's important. You know, me, I'm going to do whatever it is that they need me to do. You know, I like to think that I know a thing or two on the defensive end. I can read situations. I can make adjustments on the fly. And, you know, I'm a defensive mind along with, you know, a team full of defensive minded people, so that, you know, things can be discussed and nuances can be done, you know, in game, you know, live when it's going, so that we can put ourselves in the best position to win.
Okay, last question, Dave.
Hey, Wesley, how's it going? Welcome to LA. I'm curious, you had your Achilles injury years ago, and you've been able to recreate yourself and find success in the league. And what's been your reaction when you see guys like Kevin Durant trying to come back from it now? Klay Thompson just went out with it. Do you feel like you're a resource for other players in the league, having been through that experience?
I like to think so. I definitely like to think so. I like to think so myself, a resource for that, you know, for anybody that's been undrafted. But your heart just hurts. You know, you just get that feeling in your stomach. You never want to see anything like that to anybody. And it's tough. You know, I'm not going to lie. The Achilles injury it's a debilitating one. It's tough. And, you know, it's crazy. One of the people that helped me through mine, rest in peace, was Kobe. And I had no idea. Damn, I didn't mean to really get emotional. He hit me up. So I tore it when I was in Portland. I was playing against Dallas, and he didn't have my number. You know, we didn't reach out any time before that. But I'm pulling into my driveway, and I remember I get a call. I have no idea what this number is, and it's Kobe. And he was just sharing his wisdom about it, and it helped motivate me. Because he was honest, and he said it's hard. You know, he said it's going to be hard. And, you know, at the time that's not what you want to hear, but it's what I needed to hear, because I didn't want anything sugar coated. You know, I wanted to know what it was I was going to have to go through. And that helped. And he was always an outlet for me. And I like to think that I can be that for other people. Rodney Hood reached out to me last season. Was that last season? Yes, I think that was last season. He Hood reached out to me, and you know, I gave him some advice. I talked to Boogie when he did his. I talked to KD briefly when he did his. But this thing is a fraternity. You know, it's a brotherhood. It really is. Like, you never want to see anybody go down. And if you've been through something, then you want to share it. You know, you always want to pass it down, pass it on. And I know that's one thing that Kobe did for me, and I wish that I could thank him again. But yeah, if I can be that for other people, I'll gladly do that.